Mango's Midnight Adventure. Outside, the world was quiet, and Mom and Dad were finally tucked in tight. They dreamt sweet dreams under the soft, silver moonlight. But inside the cozy, warm dark, a tiny explorer named Mango opened their sleepy eyes. "I think the party is just getting started," Mango whispered to the water. First, Mango wanted to know, "What is up here?" and pushed a gentle, curious hand against the soft, round ceiling. It made Mom giggle a tiny bit in her sleep. Then Mango heard a funny sound, gurgle, gurgle, and decided that must be the signal for a midnight wiggle dance. A happy little foot shot out. Tap, tap, thump. The wiggles became lively, innocent jumps, right on Mom's favorite sleepy spot. Mom woke up with a quiet groan and a sleepy smile. "Oh, Mango," Mom mumbled, patting the round, cozy space. "Are you having a big adventure in there, my little night owl?" Mango felt the soft, warm touch and wiggled back instantly, like sending a tiny secret message across the sea. A sweet little heel softly pressed into Mom's hand. Dad heard the small movement and reached over, placing his big, warm hand right beside Mom's. Two loving hands made a perfect cradle around Mango's home. As Dad whispered a sleepy, quiet goodnight, Mom felt the answer, a soft, slow, calming wave inside. It wasn't really a kick to wake them up after all. It was just Mango's own gentle, funny little way of reaching out and saying, "Hello, I am here. I love you too." Mango's little surprise. The room was quiet, lit by the gentle glow of a screen. Mom and Dad sat together, holding hands tight. Today was the day they would meet their little surprise for the very first time. A kind voice said, "And here we are." The doctor pointed to the monitor, and there, floating in a dark, cozy sea, was Mango, small, wiggly, and impossibly perfect. Mom gasped. A soft little sound of pure wonder. Mango drifted, then stretched one tiny arm as if waving hello. Dad held his breath, marveling at the miracle of that tiny, curious person. The doctor moved the wand, and Mango's features came into gentle focus. A small, proud little nose, perhaps just like Dad's, and a gentle, curving mouth like Mom's. A soft forehead, round and smooth, a perfect blend of them both. Even a tiny chin line, hinting at the shape of Dad's strong, kind jaw. They were looking at the future, wrapped in a blanket of darkness. Then, a sudden jolt. Mango gave a strong, surprising little kick, thump, right into the cozy wall of the womb. The doctor smiled down at the monitor. Dad couldn't help it. A burst of joy and surprise escaped him. He leaned closer to the monitor, his voice thick with playful, happy tears. In a whisper-like cheer, imitating the tiniest voice he could imagine, he announced, "Hey, Dad, I'm a boy." The little room filled with the softest, warmest sound of all, happy laughter and easy tears. Mom reached out and squeezed Dad's hand, resting her head on his shoulder, utterly complete. Then, from the little speaker, a deep, steady rhythm began. Thump, 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 Mango's heartbeat. It was the sweetest lullaby. They leaned in close and whispered, "See you soon, Mango." Mango's midnight dance. The world was quiet. The moon hung high, a gentle silver coin, casting a soft, sleepy light into the cozy bedroom. It was almost 11 o'clock. Inside, Alara and Reese were nestled under their blanket. They whispered sweet, sleepy goodnights, their hearts full of quiet waiting. Just as Reese closed his eyes, a little sound started. Tap, tap, tap. Ilara's big, round belly began to gently jiggle. Ilara giggled, putting her hand flat against the spot. "Oh, Mango," she whispered. "He's awake again for his midnight dance." Reese, smiling, reached out and placed his big, warm hand right beside hers. Right away, a bigger move came. Kick, kick. "My little dancer has so much energy," Rice murmured, marveling at the strength of the little wiggles. "Hello in there, Mango. Are you having fun?" Alara and Reese began to hum a very soft, quiet, familiar tune. Their voices were low and sweet, like a gentle breeze. And Mango heard them. He answered their song with one last, happy, powerful wiggle. The whole family smiled in the soft blue darkness. Alara rested her head, content. "He's dancing to our song," she whispered. Reese softly kissed her forehead. "Yes," he agreed, "our little night dancer." The kicking slowed. The wiggling stopped. The world was quiet again, just as the gentle moonlight stayed with them, watching over the cozy family of 3. And under the soft moonlight, Mango's little dance filled the night with love. Mango's first winter journey. Little Mango lived in a world made of velvet and warmth. It was always dark, always gentle. Mango floated, listening to the steady, loving thump-thump of Sora's heart. Today, the world felt different. There was a low rumble, a deep, steady vibration starting in the floor and flowing up, up, into Sora's protective space. It was the first part of their journey. Soon, the rhythm changed. A swift, smooth rocking replaced the steps. The sound of the world outside became a distant, muffled whoosh. Mango felt like they were cradled inside a giant, humming shell, rising toward the sky. June's low voice drifted close, speaking softly to Sora. Mango felt the deep vibrations travel through Sora's ribs. A deep, resonant It was a secure sound, a dad sound. Mango nestled deeper. Outside, it was winter, cold and bright. But inside, it was just gentle warmth. Sora took a deep breath, and Mango felt the quiet expansion and contraction, a soft ocean wave of breath. Hours slipped by, marked only by the steady, hypnotic beat of Sora's heart, keeping time with the airplane's long, droning zzz. Mango felt every protective layer of skin, muscle, and knit wool holding them safe. There was a moment of silence, the soft click of a seatbelt releasing nearby, a distant whisper of someone walking. Then, a soft, slow tap-tap-tap came from the outside wall of Mango's home. It was June, checking in. Then the journey began to slow. The long humming sound grew louder, then lower, transforming into a gentle, downward drift. Mango felt a subtle shift in pressure, like sinking slowly into a warm, thick cloud. A final, gentle bump, a rolling vibration, and then the quiet settled in. They had arrived. Mango heard the soft, comforting sound of June's voice, closer now. "We made it, Sora. Welcome to the winter air." Mango was cozy, warm, and surrounded by their love. The adventure was over, but a new one was waiting, in the soft silence of a Korean winter. Safe, loved, and gently anticipating the next steady thump-thump of the day. Mango and the First Christmas Wish. Outside, the world is turning a soft and silent white. Large, feathery flakes of snow dance against the window pane, twirling in the moonlight before they land. Inside, the house is a cozy nest, filled with the golden glow of lamps and the scent of fresh pine needles. Safe and warm in his secret place, Mango listens. He hears the muffled sounds of the world outside, but most of all, he hears the steady, rhythmic beat of a heart. It is a comforting drum that tells him he is safe and deeply loved. Mother and father move through the room like shadows in a dream. They are busy with holiday traditions, hanging tiny stars made of straw and glass ornaments that catch the light. The small tree in the corner begins to shimmer as they drape it in strands of silver. Father stirs a pot on the stove, and soon the air is filled with the rich, sweet scent of cocoa. He hums a low, rhythmic tune as he works, a melody that travels through the air and reaches Mango like a warm, musical hug. Mother rests her hand where Mango can feel it. She silently tells him about the snow, how it is cold and quiet, like a soft white blanket falling from the stars to put the flowers and the trees to sleep for the winter. Mango imagines the world his mother describes. In his mind, the snow isn't cold, but a swirl of bright confetti and shimmering light. He dreams of a place where everything sparkles with the magic of 1,000 tiny suns, all waiting for him to see them. The house grows quiet as the evening deepens. Mother and father sit on the rug by the tree, watching the colorful lights blink on and off. The room is painted in soft shades of ruby, emerald, and sapphire, turning the floor into a garden of light. Father leans close to Mother and whispers a story about the first Christmas star. His voice is a deep, gentle vibration that Mango feels in his toes. It is a story of hope and of a light that guides everyone home. Together, they look out at the falling snow and make a silent wish. It is a wish for Mango's future, that his life may be as peaceful as this night, as bright as the tree, and always filled with the warmth of a family's love. The candles are blown out, and the house settles into a soft winter sleep. Mango drifts off to the sound of the falling snow and the heartbeat he knows so well, waiting for the day he can finally see the light for himself. Mango and the Quiet Rain Day. Outside, the world was dressed in a soft coat of gray. Small silver drops began to dance against the window pane, making a sound like 1,000 tiny fingertips drumming on the glass. Inside the house, everything was warm and still. Ilara sat in her favorite chair, watching the rain wash the garden green. She felt a little flutter deep inside her, where Mango was resting. "Listen, little Mango," Ilara whispered, her voice like a soft breeze. "That pitter-patter you hear is the rain. It's the clouds sharing their water with the flowers so they can grow tall and strong, just like you." She moved her hand in a slow circle over her belly, tracing the path of the sound. The room smelled of lavender and old books, a perfect place for a quiet day. Caspian came into the room, walking softly so as not to break the spell of the rain. He carried 2 mugs of warm chamomile tea, the steam rising in lazy curls. He sat on the rug at Ilara's feet, leaning his head against her knee. "It's a sleepy day out there," he said quietly. Together, they listened to the rhythm of the falling water. The rain grew a little louder, a steady drumbeat that vibrated through the air. Ilara leaned her cheek against the cool glass of the window. She wanted Mango to feel the peace of the storm. "Each drop is like a tiny bell," she murmured. "Can you hear the music, Mango? It's the earth's lullaby, telling everyone to rest and be still." Deep inside the warmth of Ilara, Mango heard the muffled song of the rain. To Mango, the sounds weren't just noises, they were sparkles of light. In Mango's imagination, the dark, cozy space was filled with tiny, shining stars that blinked every time a raindrop hit the roof. Each plink and plonk was a new light to watch. Mango gave a little kick, a gentle stretch of a tiny foot. The tap, tap, tap on the window felt like a heartbeat from the world outside. It was a comforting rhythm that promised the world was a kind and rhythmic place. Mango felt safe, wrapped in the love of the house and the steady song of the sky. Caspian reached for a book from the shelf, but he didn't open it yet. He just sat and watched the way the rain made rivers down the glass. "I like these days," he whispered to the room. "The world slows down so we can catch our breath." He looked at Ilara, and they shared a look of deep understanding. Quiet days were special because they allowed them to dream of the future. Ilara reached down and took Caspian's hand, Placing it over hers on her belly, they sat in silence, feeling the life beneath their palms. The rain continued its steady work, nourishing the trees and filling the bird baths. In the silence of the house, their love felt as vast and steady as the storm outside. Caspian leaned forward and pressed his forehead gently against Alara's belly. "Grow well, Mango," he whispered, his voice barely louder than the rain. "The world is waiting for you, but there is no rush. Today is for resting. Today is for being together in the quiet." He closed his eyes, sending a silent wish for health and happiness into the warm darkness. As evening began to fall, the rain slowed to a gentle mist. Ilara felt a deep sense of calm wash over her. Mango settled down, lulled to sleep by the fading pitter-patter. The house was a cocoon of warmth and love. "Good night, little star," Ilara whispered. In the quiet rain day, they had found the most beautiful music of all. Mango's gentle growth. In a world of soft pinks and warm oranges, Mango lived in the coziest place of all. It was a quiet, glowing space where he felt safe and loved. He was small, but every single day, he was growing. Thump, 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 thump. Mango loved the sound of Mother's heart. It was like a steady drum keeping him company. While he listened, he stretched his tiny fingers and felt the warmth of his secret garden. As the calendar moved closer to March 20th, Mango felt a surge of quiet energy. He was becoming a strong little boy. He could kick his legs and wiggle his toes, feeling the space all around him. Outside his warm world, Mango heard a deep and kind voice. It was Father. "We are waiting for you, little one," Father whispered. Mango felt the vibration and gave a soft, happy tap back. Mango had a very important job to do. He wanted to grow just right. He wanted to be healthy and sturdy, but he also wanted to be gentle. He knew Mother was carrying him everywhere she went. "I will be strong, but not too heavy," Mango thought. He practiced being just the right weight. He wanted to make things easy for Mother because he loved her so much. Mango practiced his very best tuck. He pulled his knees up high and made himself into a neat, round ball. This was his favorite way to rest, snuggled up tight and cozy. Now, it was time for Mango to get into his big boy position. Slowly and carefully, he turned himself over. He pointed his head downward, getting ready for the day he would finally see the world. Mother felt Mango's big turn and sighed with a happy smile. She and Father sat together, feeling the quiet strength of their little boy. Everything was going exactly as it should. Mango closed his eyes and drifted off to sleep. He was strong, he was healthy, and he was growing with so much love. He was proud of his growth and ready for the beautiful spring day. Mango is almost here. The house was full of a quiet, golden waiting. Every corner seemed to hold a secret, a soft promise of someone new who was about to arrive. The mother felt the weight of the little one. Every step she took was slow and careful, as if she were carrying a precious, heavy treasure everywhere she went. The father sat on the rug with a basket of laundry. He found a pair of socks so small they could barely fit over the tip of his thumb. He folded each piece with gentle, patient hands. He smoothed out the wrinkles in the tiny shirts and stacked them into neat piles like little colorful clouds. From the kitchen came a steady, rhythmic hum. The sterilizer was busy at work, cleaning the bottles and preparing everything for the baby's first meal. While resting on the sofa, the mother felt a sudden, sharp tap from within. She caught the father's eye and reached out for his hand to share the moment. There was one strong, solid kick against the mother's skin. It was a hello from the dark, a little nudge to let them know that someone was getting restless. A small crib now stood right beside the big bed. It was tucked in close, waiting for a hand to reach out and a soft voice to whisper through the night. The evening was calm and still. The mother and the father stood together in the doorway, looking at the tiny, empty space that would soon be very full. Deep inside the warmth, Mango heard their soft words and felt the steady, comforting beat of a heart. I am almost ready to see the world.
The day my birthday became yours. It was my birthday, but the celebration felt quiet. We sat in the living room, the glow of a single candle on a small cake casting long shadows against the walls. You were still a secret tucked away inside, a promise we were waiting to meet. Your mom smiled at me, but I could see the tiredness in her eyes, the kind that comes from carrying a whole world for 9 months. Later that evening, the air in the room seemed to shift. The easy rhythm of the night broke when your mom grew still. She didn't say much at first, just placed her hand on the curve of her belly and looked at me. "Something feels different," she whispered. It wasn't a cry of pain, just a quiet realization that the clock had started ticking in a way it hadn't before. The drive to the hospital was a blur of streetlights and soft rain. We didn't talk much, we just held hands over the center console. I kept thinking about how this was supposed to be my day, a day about getting older. But as we walked through those heavy hospital doors, I realized my day didn't matter anymore. We were there for you. The room was bright and smelled of antiseptic. A kind doctor came in and ran a sensor over your mom's belly. The room went quiet as we watched the monitor. "The fluid is low," the doctor explained softly. "We need to help him along." They called it an induction. Suddenly, our slow wait turned into a focused mission. The hours began to stretch and fold into one another. The monitors hummed a steady, rhythmic song, the sound of your heart beating, strong and stubborn. I sat by the bed, holding your mom's hand through every wave of change. I felt so small in that room, watching her navigate a kind of strength I will never truly understand. Outside the window, the world went about its business. People went to work, cars hummed down the street, and the sun began to climb. I stayed in the corner of the room, watching the light change on the floor. I felt helpless, watching her labor, but I stayed anchored by a single, glowing hope that soon I would finally know who you were. The afternoon brought a change in plans. The doctors spoke in hushed, decisive tones about a C-section. Safety was the only word that mattered. I squeezed your mom's hand one last time before they wheeled her away. "I'll see you both soon," I promised, my voice thick with a mix of fear and an incredible, soaring anticipation. Then, amidst the sterile white and the muffled sounds of the operating room, I heard it. A cry. Not a loud roar, but a sharp, clear announcement of life. When they brought you over to me, wrapped tight like a little burrito, the world stopped moving. You were tiny, perfect, and so very real. "Hello, Mango," I whispered. I brought you over to your mom. She looked exhausted, her hair damp and her face pale. But when she saw you, she looked like she had conquered the world. I watched her hold you for the first time, and I felt a debt of gratitude so deep I couldn't find the words for it. She had brought you here, through the long night and the sudden morning. My birthday was ending, and yours was just beginning. I used to think a birthday was about me, about my life and my years. But holding you in that quiet room, I realized I didn't need another gift ever again. My day had become yours, and it was the best trade I ever made. Welcome home, Mango. You are the greatest thing I've ever known.
Before I knew it, I wanted one more. The world outside is loud and busy, but in here, everything is still. The lights are soft, and the air is warm. Hello, my little Mango. We finally meet face to face after all this time. I am so very tired, Mango. My body feels heavy, like a mountain that has finally stopped moving. My eyes want to close, but I can't seem to look away from you. You are so much smaller than I imagined. Your toes are like tiny pearls, and your breath is a soft, rhythmic hum. When you wrap your hand around my thumb, the whole world disappears. Your father stands by your little clear bed, watching you sleep. He looks at you like you are the most precious treasure ever found. He hasn't stopped smiling since the moment you arrived. He walks over to me and squeezes my hand. He whispers that he can't believe you're really ours. I just nod because my voice is lost somewhere deep in my heart, tucked away with all my love for you. The room is quiet now, except for the gentle beep of the monitors. It's just us, tucked away in this secret corner of the world. I feel like I could stay in this moment forever, just watching you be. I thought this would be the end of the journey. I thought my heart was full enough with just you. I told myself that once you were here, our family would be exactly the right size. But as I watch the way your tiny chest rises and falls, a new thought bubbles up inside me. It catches me by surprise, like the first star appearing in the evening sky. It's a feeling I didn't expect to have so soon. Your father reaches down to adjust your little knit hat, his hands looking so big and strong compared to your tiny head. I look at him, then back at you, and I think maybe one day another miracle could happen. Before I knew it, I wanted one more. But for today, my heart is overflowing right here in this room. Thank you for choosing us, my sweet Mango. We have everything we need.